no one could tell us why we couldn't get pregnant. After trying for 3 years, we did IVF.
Technology is really a continuation of the evolutionary process. We're going to merge with our technology. We're getting closer and closer to our technology.
My view about the nature of technology is fairly radical because I believe that technology started at the Big Bang.
So long as human nature remains what it is, people will continue to fool around with technology. Will there be any fundamental change in human happiness or the meaning of human life? There never has been before, and I doubt if there are. I have no reason to suspect there will be in the future.
This gets to one of the central issues about technology is whether it really is neutral, whether it's simply a question of is it being used improperly, or is there something about the technology that causes specific problems?
Technology has always changed the way that we think.
We're certainly becoming used to finding increasingly more aspects of our lives in one way or another under the aegis of machines. Like, oh, well, what are you going to do?
When they ask me a question like, what do you do on Fort Huachuca, or what do you do in the Army? And I tell them I work with UAVs, and they're just fascinated. They're like, that's the remote control planes, right? And that's correct.
The right eye was implanted by way of a surgical procedure. And what I found, I had new vision. When I crossed a boundary from a dark area to a light area, there would be a flash like light bulbs going off in your brain.
For the first several months of their lives, the babies pretty much live inside and alongside their machines. And once they come home, we're cautioned to limit their exposure to any germs or viruses, lest they end up back in the hospital. Dear Mr. or Ms. Weider, thank you for your letter postmarked October 2nd. You asked whether it would be possible to include my voice in your film project.
There's actually things that Ted Kaczynski and I agree on, and his Unabomber manifesto is actually surprisingly well written.
We've been talking about Ted for a long time, but I was really interested in having a dialogue with him.
Ted suggested that I contact you to see if there could be some way that I could express some of the problems with technology as I saw it.
I certainly don't want to try and suppress the facts, but I also don't want to dignify cowardly murderers by discussing them.
I think people often get upset at technologists, people building robots, that they're somehow encroaching on human values. As we understand the universe better and better, we become less special.
I very much want to move back to the kind of humble discipline of science, which is that we are just in this little tiny island surrounded by deep mystery.
As I look forward to my daughter's generation and her children's generation, I think we're up to things that as human beings we start with better equipment for than the artificial intelligences.